Hello everyone and welcome to episode 3 of FTB Revelation. How are you doing today? How's life? So as I said at the end of the last episode, today we're going to start by getting into Ender.io, and in order to do that we are going to need a few grains of infinity. So we need to find bedrock. That's very noisy. Maybe I'll dig here? The main question is, do we have flat bedrock mod? It seems so. Are you flat? Yeah, it is flat. Okay, that's good. Right now we don't need that much grains of infinity, we just need a few pieces to get started with. Did we get one? I have a magnet. That should help. Later we will try to automate this. Apparently you can also use fire water in order to get grains of infinity, but that has a lower chance. This seems to be the better option. We have 50 grains of infinity and that should be more than enough to get us started. You guys already know the drill, and the drill is we should start with making the simple machine chassis in order to make a simple alloy smelter and a simple sag mill in order to make different organic dyes to get industrial machine chassis. After a crazy amount of crafting steps, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you a normal alloy smelter. You spend all that time in order to make a stupid alloy furnace and still it does not work. You are going to need a capacitor. So here's a capacitor. Please work. And here's power. Oh, you had power. Okay, cool. I also found this capacitor in a dungeon and it says I have the premium hot enhanced atomic good crushed premium explosive enhanced capacitor. So it's a capacitor. That's all I understood. But nonetheless, since it says crushed, I think we can use it in a sag mill? I think. You need power, okay. So, what can you crush for me? Oh yeah, look! Okay, so for the sag mill, it's perfect. Anyhow, one of the things that I wanted was an XP obelisk, and for that I needed a soul machine chassis, so yeah. That was quite expensive, but I can now store all of my experience and, well, if I die, nothing bad will happen. There is an item from Ender.io that I always wanted to try and see how it works. It's called Lava Heat Exchanger and it was introduced when I was playing Project Ozone. But in that mod pack I did not get a chance to play with it. Apparently the way it works is that you have to put lava somewhere, I'm not sure which side. Probably this side, and then you also have to surround it with water. So let's put water here and lava here. Do you generate RF? You need a capacitor. Fine. Are you doing something? No. Do I have to put the lava inside? Oh. Okay, so it's basically just a lava generator. 40 RF per tick. Huh. How about you? 21 RF per tick? That's worse. So it's not as cool as I hoped for. It's basically a lava generator and we have plenty of them in the pack and some of them actually look nicer than this one. Anyhow, I need to do some building and we are going to need an unbreakable wand. So we need a nether star. Alright guys, it's been a while later and I had to do a little bit of work off camera because at the speed that we were going, it would have been episode 25 before we could start making something which resembles a base, but yeah. Anyway, I did not do anything very complicated. I made the Elven portal from Botania. It's a very repetitive work and we have done that several times, and of course we need a terrace seal, so we have this thing. And I also decided to make plastic, which I use the same design that I always use. We have a block placer, we have 3 fluid extractors which extract latex. It goes into a latex processing unit, mixes with water, and then we will get tiny pieces of rubber, and the RF tool crafter will combine it into dry rubber, we smelt it into plastic, and it goes here. Right? But I did bring you in for the mob farm, which I have died twice in order to make it. Fall damage. Some of you guys have been suggesting to me, Lush, why don't you play railcraft in hardcore mode? And here's your answer. I accidentally kill myself more often than I get killed by mobs. So if we play railcraft in hardcore mode, mobs are not my worst enemy. Anyway, do I have a wrench for the mob grinder? Ah, yeah, I do. So we turn you around and then we add the upgrades. I also brought a range add-on and this should cover the entire space. Yeah, perfect. Not to mention that the way that I am providing this guy with power is through solar panels from Ender.io. There are capacitor banks down here so that we have a power reserve during the night. And this is why we really need a mob farm, because I'm out of Ender pearls. So we just have to hook this guy up into item conduits and fluid conduits, and then we should be good to go. I think we're good to go, and this guy just killed a bat, so it does work. Anyway, when you want to make a mob farm using a drop of evil, it does not really matter which Y level you build it, or where you build it, or whatever, because the mechanisms behind spawning mobs is slightly different. It just forces mobs to spawn, and we need to run. And we just cover you up. Yep, we're getting mobs, and that was a creeper. Before setting up a storage drawer, I want to know how many types of items we are going to get, so that I will know how many drawers we are going to need. So this has to run for a while. Then I'll be right back. First off, the custom drawers that I made look garbage. I don't know why I came up with this color pattern, it's disgusting. And it was quite expensive because this is a block of iron. And yeah. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is the mob farm is working, and I just had a thought. Why don't we make the same design in the nether and try to get wither skeleton skulls, blaze rods, blaze powder, and gas tiers. And then we can use ender chests to bring them all to a central storage system in the overworld, which will be here. The problem is, I don't know how to transfer RF to the nether. I do not have anything to transfer RF interdimensionally, and we need to generate RF in the nether itself. Something which is renewable. I just had an idea which might work. A thermoelectric generator from Immersive Engineering will generate small amounts of RF depending on which blocks you put on either side. Different blocks will have different temperatures, and the greater the temperature gap between the blocks that you put on either side, the more RF this guy generates. The good thing is, it's constant, it does not require any attention, and it will work indefinitely once you set it up. And which is good for us, because that's what we want. And we don't need that much RF anyway, because we only have the grinder. The problem is, what kind of blocks should we use? Packed ice has the lowest temperature, and we already have packed ice. I'm making it here. So we have packed ice, and the highest temperature is from plutonium. There's a cheaty way of making plutonium. So plutonium comes from cyanide, and cyanide is basically depleted uranium in an extreme reactor. But this is the cheaty recipe, we can craft it. So we can have a plutonium block. So if I put the plutonium here, how much RF will you generate? 30. It's not bad. I have 2 of them, and I think we need 50. So that's gonna work. You can actually surround it with plutonium and packed ice, and it will make 60 RF per tick. That's amazing. I think we have everything we are going to need. I have the stuff for the generator, I have cables, I have the ender tanks and the ender chest. I do have the speed upgrades and everything for the mob crusher, and a lot of flask of owlsight because of night vision. So let me go and find a suitable location, then I'll bring you back. Alright guys, I think it's complete. I built half of the mob farm on top of the intersection on the nether fortress so that we will get wither skeletons and hopefully some blazes, and half of it is just dangling outside. I'm hoping on this part we will be able to get gas and zombie pigmen and you know, other stuff which spawn in the nether. The main important items that I want from this farm is wither skeleton skulls, blazes and gold. If we get gas tiers, well, that's also an added bonus. I did bring the drop of evil, so we just drop it and see how it works. And we cover it. Okay, we get blazes, that's nice. And we get zombie pigmen. And magma cubes. So far no blazes, no ghasts. I'm trying to increase the height by 1 block. Maybe that will allow the ghasts to spawn. If it doesn't work, it's fine. This is all the loot that we're getting from the mob farms, and that's basically all the loot that there is. The only thing that I'm voiding, I think, is sticks from witches. Anyway, I also realized we don't need gas tiers, because we have reliquary in the pack, and we can just get gas tiers like this. And we get a lot of these, so we're fine. I would also like to make a very small clarification. When I said I don't know how to transfer RF between dimensions, I knew that we have flux networks, we also have dimensional transceiver, we have RF tools, so yes, I know how to transfer the RF. The thing is, this is a temporary setup, and it's hooked up to energy crystals, and one day I have to remove it. And I just don't want to forget which systems are connected to it and, then leave it unpowered, because that will be bad. When I said I want to start with thermocraft today, I did not mean that we are going to do anything complicated with it. We're just going to get started with the research, with the observations, and try to do some of the quests so that we can start making items. Unfortunately, the research part is literally the most boring part ever, so I have to do most of that off camera so that I will not bore you to death. But we're going to get our thermoelectric, and do I have to open you to make the workbench? Yeah, okay. So now I can make the workbench. Perfect. Anyhow, what I was trying to say was that we need to at least do the research so that in a few episodes we would be able to do some things with thermocraft as well. I will do most of the research off camera, and if I find something very interesting or something which is complicated or something, I will bring you in. Otherwise, most of the observations and most of the research I will do off camera. How did we do this? We need 3 of them, right? Yeah. Do you guys remember a few minutes ago I said we cannot do anything substantial with thermocraft today because I need to do a lot of research and everything has to wait for a few episodes? Well, I did spend 3 hours on doing research and we can do a few stuff. For instance, we can have arcane infusion, but before that we need to upgrade our Essentia smeltery because the first tier is garbage. We have to at least upgrade it to this one. And for that I needed a workbench charger because it needs 250 V. So can we just do it here? Yeah, perfect. I thought we will use the crack for our industrial stuff, and here we will do everything related to magic. It's basically Botania and thermocraft, because astral sorcery I'm thinking we will do it on top of that mountain. That's a skeleton. Okay. Anyway, I did make the Thaumium Essentia Smeltery. I may have some Arcane Olympics. And I'm not a fan of pipes, so I directly went for the transfusers. And these will do it wirelessly, hopefully. If I have 2 of them, why do I have 3 Arcane Olympics? We'll just do 2. Okay. My bad. I also made some auxiliary venting points, and these will reduce the amount of flux which will be generated by the smeltery, so we will not screw our base up. That's the plan, and this is where we will do our arcane infusion. I have to go and get the matrix. I have set up our altar and we are ready to make our first infusion. We have everything we're going to need in order to make the boots of the traveler except a fish. So I did bring a fishing rod and I'm going to do some fishing, I guess. Over there or here. We have a fish. It's a mudfish. Can I convert it? Yeah, good. We spray you with Silas Mundus and you should form. Yeah, I did put some candles down here. We don't need it for the boots because it has negligible instability, but I thought, yeah, why not? Anyway, what do we need? We need the feather and we need motus. And we put it here? Yeah. Well, I think this is the recipe. We have enough of the essentials. I put the boots over there, so let's get started and hope for the best. This is very slow. I didn't activate it. Okay. Now it's functioning. And we have the boots. Perfect. I think it has to be charged because I read the Thermonomicon and it says we need to charge it with V. So let's make a charging pad. This guy has been charged with Potentia and I also put mending on it. Let's give it a test. This is how fast I can run and this is my jump. It's amazing. And I can also swim faster. Look. This is great. Okay, so I made the pickaxe of the core from Thermocraft, and this is amazing. Look what it does. It shows you where all the ores are, and it also gives you a chance that when you're mining an ore, you will get a cluster, which is basically like 2 ingots. But I also made the shovel of the earth mover, and this is technically an excavator because it does a 3x3, and it also places the blocks back, but I haven't figured that out yet. For an axe, I thought we will use the Terra Truncator from Botania, because we should be able to make 3 pieces of Terra Steel. I hope. This is amazing. Maybe not. It is amazing, it's just that we had too much trees. Anyway, I do understand that it is very counterproductive to go for magic-y tools when we have TAIGA in the pack, but I actually installed TAIGA for one reason only, and that is to make a sword out of nihilite, which is a very crazy alloy to make. It's like 200 different steps, but I really want to try that later on. Not today. Today we want to make a bit of coal coke. The coke oven from Immersive Engineering does not look the best, but that's how coke ovens look like in real life. They are basically brick structures that you put coal inside, and after a lot of heat, fire and smoke, you will get coal coke. That's what I tried to replicate here. There is a modern version which the door opens, lava comes out, and it looks really cool, but it's very difficult to replicate that in Minecraft because we don't have moving blocks. That's the best I could do, and I don't like it. So if you have any ideas how to improve this, I would really appreciate that. Well, it's not that bad, at least it functions. The tanks up there are for the creosote oil so that we can make treated wood. I did raid a village and I got some treated wood, but we need to produce it anyway. We can add some decorations. I added Decocraft to the pack, so we can have a pile of charcoal, maybe another pile of charcoal somewhere, if it fits. Here? I don't know. Then maybe we can add some blocks of coal coke here so that it looks like we're stockpiling them for future process. Maybe. I added some random crates and I think it's fine. This crate is our input and output chest, and I also made a wooden post so that we can use an arcane lamp from Thermocraft. This will light up an area of 16 by 16. It will look amazing. That's a horrible place. Yeah, maybe over there it's not that bad, because it will also light up this area. Anyway guys, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.